Usyk is the greatest cruiserweight of all time because of Evander Holyfield's sketchy history of steroid abuse. But I noticed on film that Usyk likes to control range with his jab and keep you at a distance. But he's also fell into the same trap that Errol Spence fell into, which is he's been so used to being the bigger guy that he's created flaws. He doesn't move his head. He pulls straight out from punches, and he doesn't see the need to move his head. He blocks punches with his arms and doesn't use the speed of his feet, but he uses the length of them, meaning it takes them 2 steps to equal his 1 step because he's the bigger guy. His footwork is very overrated. He just used his jab, control the range, and block punches with his gloves. He doesn't move his head, and he pulls straight out. So because of this, I noticed that Usyk will not throw unless he's at a comfortable range or he has outside foot dominance. Other than that, he'll wait for you. He thinks he has the angle right here and then goes defensive because he finds out that Tony Bellew has a better angle. Right here, he pumps the jab and controls. Watch it right here. Defensive, and then steps in, and he's immediately uncomfortable. So what does he do? He backs up, establishes a distance, jabs, and then throws his punches because he's comfortable now. That's a flaw of Usyk's. He only throws when he's at a proper distance where he feels comfortable. The reason why he was able to dominate Tony was because of the jab. He's the bigger guy, and he just controlled the range with the jab and countered him and kept him outside his jab, like right there. He keeps him outside his jab where he's at a comfortable distance, and then just pecks and pokes. And right there, he blocks the punches, like I said, with his arms and his gloves. That's what he uses as a defense, like Errol Spence. He doesn't really use his footwork like people claim. That foot speed that everyone claims that he has. Check this out. Tony closes the gap really fast. He's not comfortable. And what does he do? He angles out and doesn't throw punches again until he's comfortable. He doesn't have fast feet like everyone thinks. Everyone compares him to Lomachenko because Lomachenko, and Oleksandr all have the same trainer slash promoter. But right there, he brings his head, trying to create offense on the front end, and Tony catches him coming in because that's not his comfort zone. Although Usyk's accomplishments are very impressive, they mean nothing in the heavyweight divisions because he's starting over. He's 2-0 as a heavyweight. It'd be like LeBron James trying to come into the NBA his rookie year based off of his resume as a high schooler. And like I said, Usyk was the bigger person, and he's able to control range and dominate the cruiserweights. But guess what? The heavyweights are just as big as you, and you lacking the foot speed and you just using the length of your legs to create angles. It's not going to work in the heavyweight division. The guys that he fought have a combined total of 6 knockouts together. Usyk was supposed to get in there with his pedigree, his resume, and dominate these guys. And he struggled. He struggled with both of them. One of the guys is not even boxing to this day, so that tells you a lot about what was supposed to happen in the Usyk fight. Notice the move that he used on Tony Bellew when he ducks under and rolls out, how much space is in there. And watch, he tries it with Chisora. He tries it with Chisora right here, rolls under, and Chisora is right on top of him. All he did was pivot his hips, and he's right on top of him to throw another punch. And Usyk is caught off guard and knocked off balance because he's not used to this. The cruiserweights couldn't catch up to him because the legs were short. And look, he sends him with the body shot, and he could have followed up with a left hook, but he doesn't throw any more punches. And Usyk steps back with his foot and basically has to run just to get out of range. He has to move really, really fast. And this is the first round, and that was one of the first couple punches to get out of range. Usyk sees right away that this heavyweight's a different beast. But right here, he jabs, gets the distance that he likes, blocks the punch, and tries to deliver a punch of his own with everything he has. And that punch doesn't have the effect that it would have on a cruiserweight. He's right back in his chest, throwing more punches. That's the difference between the cruiserweights and the heavyweights. And then Usyk dips his head down to his left, like he always does, and tries to smother his attack. And then Chisora just keeps punching. I don't know if it was a part of Chisora's game plan or awkward cleverness, but a lot of times he would turn southpaw and land a looping right hand. But this time he just lands a straight right, which would be a jab from that position, and knocks Usyk into the corner. And look at the effects of that punch. Usyk gets back on his horse and tries to get out the corner. Right here, Usyk tries to take that long leap that would get him out of distance, and Chisora actually steps on his foot because, like I said, he doesn't have really fast feet. Right here, he has his foot on the outside, trying to control the distance that's comfortable for him. He jabs, pops his head up, and then Chisora just ducks down. He misjudges the distance and comes over the top. Like I said, he doesn't. Usyk doesn't move his head. The only thing that really concerns me is that AJ is going to come in light for this fight, and he's giving up the one advantage that made him supremely superior than Usyk. And Usyk is actually doing the opposite. He wants to come in heavier, so he takes away the aspect that he had, which was probably on the speed area.
From the Olympics and World Championships, I studied a lot.
Or it's a counter punch fight. But if Usyk dips that head like he did here, and AJ's best punch is gonna find a home, which is his uppercut, he's gonna do it with his left hand though. But like I said, it's AJ's fights to lose. But anyway, it's the Boxing Scholar, and I'm out.